Welcome to another episode of the INTOCHANGE podcast, and this is going to be a real juicy one. I'm joined by Egan. He's a good friend of mine with a similar history, but where I went from being a prisoner and became a PT, he went from being a prisoner and became a porn star. And I'm not just talking any porn star, I'm talking #1 male porn star in Australia right now. So stick around and find out what it takes to do every man's dream job, the sacrifices he's had to make, and how he transitioned from being a prisoner to becoming a porn star and everything along the way. It's going to be a good one. I'll see you in a sec.
How are you, mate?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, bro. And thank you so much for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it. And
welcome, mate.
Obviously, we met a couple of years ago, and I think it was just around the time you just got out of jail. We obviously connected over that because obviously I've got about, the same sort of history. So I thought it'd be great to get you on here to have a chat to you about how you went from obviously, being pretty much at rock bottom, People see us as the scum of the earth when we're criminals, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And now to turning your life around and just, having such a new look on life. So, first of all, maybe we can start with a little bit about yourself. So, how did you end up finding yourself in jail? What was your, childhood like? What was it like, growing up the way you did?
Yeah. Childhood wasn't the worst. Like, pretty average family, work 9 to 5, own a house, renovate it. Pretty standard. Did have an older brother that would constantly bully me and then get bullied in school.
Yeah.
That led to depression.
Okay.
And then from there, depression led to me wanting to leave school at age 14, which I did.
Yeah.
And then from there, led to dead-end jobs. Slowly introduced into drug use, so weed at 14, I think, ecstasy around like 15, 16.
Gateway drug, weed, right?
Yeah, gateway drug, yeah.
We've all been there, bro. We've all been there.
I think that's like nearly every Australian.
Yeah.
And but I think the difference between me and maybe most people is me being emotionally unstable and me already having depression.
Yeah.
So drugs for me just made all of that so much worse.
Yeah.
And then obviously not giving myself a good start by leaving school early, not having any proper trades or qualifications, and then I found openings into selling drugs.
Okay.
So, I took those openings when I was young and, one thing leads to another and you kind of get into different crowds of people and then, you're thinking, I remember I thought anyway, I was like, fuck, I'm so cool.
Yeah, I've been there, bro.
Yeah.
I can connect with you on that.
And if I look back at myself now, I'm like, nah, you were not cool.
Yeah.
But, and then I guess from there, it's everything just kind of snowballs, you're hanging around people that, you do really like, you do really respect them, you're having a good time. And then you're kind of influencing each other to do more things and more openings are coming, you're meeting more people.
In that world, of course.
In that
right?
world, yeah. Because, you are who you surround yourself with.
Correct.
And then I guess everything just kind of snowballed and got worse and worse. And at one point I had to move away when I was about 20 because my drug use and drinking got pretty bad and depression got really bad. And I was like, I need to get away.
Yeah.
And I was about 66 kilos, 19, 20 years old. So I moved away for a year down to Ulladulla.
Yep.
And then I got my personal training certificate.
Oh.
I jumped on steroids for the first time.
Yep.
So down there for a year, I went from 66 to 94 kilos.
Yep.
And I moved back home.
Yeah. So back to the coast, or
Yeah.
Yep.
So Tweed Heads. And,
yeah.
Next minute, I'm getting attention from girls, which I never had before.
Right.
That felt pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, started working as a bouncer, start meeting more people, still get back into the crime and stuff.
Lifestyle comes with that, right?
Lifestyle comes with it, yeah. And then again, depression. And for me, dealing with depression, I would spend money if I didn't have. I'd get a loan just so I could spend money, but so I could feel better.
Yeah. So looking for like external validation, right?
Correct. Yeah. And then that was just an ugly cycle, and I'm still taking drugs, still partying on the weekends. So if I wasn't working, I'd be partying.
Yeah.
Now I didn't have an off button. Like I guess a lot of people don't. But again, for me, mentally, I was already kind of mentally weak, so it affected me a lot more.
Yeah.
And then, so I was just chasing more money, which meant more crime. Then next minute, I, commit a home invasion that landed me in jail for 4.5 years.
Okay, so that was the crime that got you to, I guess, being at rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
So the home invasion.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, can you tell us a little bit more about that? So for a lot of people that don't, I guess, know that world, so home invasion obviously is like a burglary or breaking into someone's house, right?
Yeah, so a home invasion is where somebody is home and you break in. The correct term for the crime is special aggravated break and enter injury.
Yep.
So people are home, we're all covered up, their guns involved, people get injured. In my case, it was a wrong house.
Yeah.
So it was not the people we intended it to be.
Right, okay.
A very unfortunate crime.
Yeah. You ended up in jail.
Yeah.
So you said for 4.5 years.
4.5 years, yeah.
So tell me about your time in jail. So when you first got there, right, like you were probably still on the high thinking like, I'm a mad cunt, that sort of stuff? Or was it more so like, fuck, what have I done?
Fuck, man. Honestly, I was heavily depressed.
Yeah.
Because I had this false sense of like, I love my life. My life is sick. Because I was a bouncer, I got to meet so many people, and like walking from one end to service to the other, I'd shake 30 hands.
Yeah.
Just because I met so many people, I was in the scene all the time.
Yeah.
And I got addicted to that, I guess, like addicted to like
feeling of being someone, right? Significance.
Yeah, that's right. And then obviously the partying and girls and all that kind of stuff.
It's all fun, right?
So I went to jail. I'm like, my life is over.
Okay.
I've lost it all.
Yeah.
So that was, I was depressed.
So to a degree, you identified with that person that you were when you were, I guess, the bouncer. You were someone that people knew, you knew people.
Yeah.
That was your identity.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then when you were alone in jail, it was really something that allowed you to get to know yourself.
Yeah, not straight away.
Right.
I think that took a bit of time.
Yep.
So at first I was like, all right, I'm in here, let's make the most of it.
Yeah.
Let's meet who I can.
Yeah. So what did you do while you were in there?
Just hang out with the boys. When I was in work jails, I would work. Obviously, they make you work. But,
Yep.
But mainly just hang out with the boys, have a laugh, make connections, and talk a lot of shit.
Is, in your perspective, jail as bad as everyone makes it out to be?
Nah, no, not at all. You obviously will have a period where there might be a period where, the yard might be a bit angry for a day or something.
Yeah.
Or something might happen, or, tensions might be risen. You would know those days.
Of course, brother, yeah.
But, I mean, for the most part, like, boys are having a laugh, they're doing their laps, they're just doing them,
Cutting laps in the yard, eh?
yeah, waiting for the phone, yeah.
Another ones, yeah. So, for you, what was the worst part about jail?
The worst part for me was being away from my friends.
Yeah.
And missing out on everything.
Yep.
So I'm in jail and all my friends are moving up. They're they're hanging with girls that I wish I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
They're partying, but I wish I was partying with them.
Yep. Sort of like a bit of FOMO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. A couple of friends have kids and stuff, and I'm not there to experience that kind of stuff with them. So like a lot of FOMO, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was something to deal with, yeah.
I can definitely connect with that because obviously I spent a time in jail as well.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're in there, nothing changes for you. You stay the same, right? You might do a bit of personal growth or whatever, but everything outside is changing. And when you get out, it's like, holy fuck, all this stuff's happened. What's actually, and for you, it's like almost a bit confusing, right?
Yeah, it is. And even like the people who you held most dear and who you held on to most dear while you're in there, unfortunately, it's not the same for them when you get out.
Correct.
And that's even a very tough one to deal with. Even today, I still find that hard to deal with.
Okay, so when you say that, was there like people in particular that you felt like you sort of fell away from and that was due to you being in jail, right?
Yeah, I think pretty much every single person in my life, I fell away from, but it's more so I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. They're building other friendships. They got other connections. They're, building memories with other people, which obviously I'm aware of. It's fine. Like it's how the world works. But, I think when you hold on to something so dearly while you're in there, then you come out and it's not the same. That it's a hit in the face kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And that would have been, I guess, a big reality check when you did get out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So how long have you been out now? So when did you actually get out?
March 2020, I got out. So I've been out for 3 years now.
Okay.
Actually.
And we met, what, I think...
Actually, okay, is it? I just realised, it's my 3-year anniversary.
Today?
No, not today. No.
But coming up.
Last week it was.
Last week, right. Well,
I
congratulations,
forgot,
mate.
Yeah, I better put an Instagram post up for that.
Yeah, of course. Got to let everyone know, right?
Yeah.
But I think we met around Christmas. I think it was actually Boxing Day or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It was for a few mates. We met each other. And I remember we were having a yarn and talking about that sort of stuff. And I think at the time you were doing something with a labour hire company.
Yeah.
So what happened from that to then, I guess, being who you are today? And I think that obviously a lot of people do know who you are, but for those that don't, Dale's very big in the OnlyFans world. Very big. Yeah, they say that you're about 6 inches away from starting your dream career. Well, he's doing it. So, anyways,
7 inches, mate.
how'd you go from, I guess, literally getting out of jail, being depressed, being, I guess, lost, like I guess would probably the word you'd use, right?
Yeah.
To then, I guess, building an empire, man.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that started while I was still in jail. So I went to segregation twice in jail.
Yeah. For people that don't know what segregation is, what is that?
So it's like jail within inside jail. You get in trouble and you get put in a room. Generally, you won't have your TV or property. It's got a toilet and a bed, and it could be 7 days, it could be 2 weeks, it could be months. Depends, how severe the issue was.
Okay, and how long did you spend in there each time?
2 weeks each time.
2 weeks. Okay, cool. So 14 days.
Yeah.
And I've been in Segro too, bro. When you're staring at that ceiling, there's nothing else going on, and you can just hear everyone else screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Not fun. So the second time was for having a mobile phone inside a correctional centre.
Right.
So I was in minimum security at the time, got knocked back to maximum security for a year.
Yep.
But Segro for 2 weeks, and just a book and a bed and a toilet. And that was my moment where I was like, I need to change.
Okay. So there was the second time you were in Segro where you had that light bulb moment where you're just like, enough's enough.
Yeah. Because I was like, my mum was getting ready to visit me that weekend.
Right.
And I had to call her and say, sorry, I can't visit now. I've, segregation, about to go back down, about to get kicked down south, and back to maximum security for a year.
Yep.
And I felt embarrassed.
Okay.
I'm in a jail, inside a jail, doing the wrong thing still. I'm just over halfway through my sentence. Like when is the time where you're going to pull your head in and go, enough is enough?
Right.
And that was my time. Like, fuck this. So I made the conscious decision then to never touch drugs again in my life.
Cool.
Which I've touched them twice since then.
Okay.
So
thanks for being open with us about that as well, bro.
Yeah. So 8 years I've touched drugs twice.
Cool.
Which I'm fine with that. Is what it is. I think those 2 times reminded me of why I don't want to touch them anymore. So that's fine.
Yeah.
I started reflecting, reading motivational books, and started actually doing manifestation.
Wow.
And before I even got out, I already made the conscious decision that sex industry was what I was going to be doing.
Okay.
And I wrote down business plans for starting an online adult shop.
Yeah.
But it just went in a different direction. But anyway, let's fast forward. I get out of jail. I've got no money. I've got no furniture.
Yep.
I've got no car.
Yep.
Again, I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm 30 years old. I've been in jail 4.5 years. So I went down the wrong road again for a little bit. Won't go into detail about that.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Had a particular job that wasn't exactly above board. And that job caused me a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And so did the other stuff I was doing.
Yep.
So I thought, fuck that. That's all negative for me. It's not for me. It's not who I am. So I can kick that to the fucking curb. Then I was dead broke. I had fucking nothing. I had to borrow money to pay my rent, to get food, just off anybody who would lend it to me.
Yeah, bro. Yep.
So again, feeling embarrassed as fuck, but I'm like, nah, this is what I actually have to do. And I thought, okay, what am I truly going to do? Like, what's going to suit me? Where am I actually going to have high motivation in and excel in? And I'd already done porn in 2013 when I was 22.
Okay. Yeah, right. So you had a bit of an experience with it.
Yeah. And it was something I actually really enjoyed. But there's no money back then.
Okay.
Back then in Australia, it was a very, very small industry.
Right.
And didn't pay good. And I'd done topless waitering stuff as well. So I thought, fuck it, I'll do OnlyFans.
Okay.
I kept hearing about this OnlyFans thing, and
And this is like, okay, so I'm thinking 2020, this is probably before OnlyFans was such a massive thing, right? This is like, not in the beginning, but sort of like around the stage where it was really picking up, right?
yeah. So it was definitely before a massive growth spurt, but it was still around for a bit.
Yeah.
It just hadn't exploded as much. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this because I need to do it, not because I just want to get on there and get naked and have some sex. This is my last chance in life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to go work in a factory 9 to 5, make $800 a week,
Be
and
fucking miserable.
be miserable.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. So I did that, and I said to myself, I'm not even going to tell anyone until I can pay my rent with it.
Okay.
So I made a private Instagram page with a work name, and went from there. And then when I made my rent money each week, then I started telling people.
Cool. And from, I guess, like first starting that, right? So first dipping your toes in the ocean, to say, to then being able to pay your rent. How long was that?
I think about 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 months.
And okay, so I guess a lot of people, when it comes to the OnlyFans world, they think, oh, it's just easy, you just get naked, you fuck, you take photos, you take videos. In that first 4 months, how much work was it for you to get from, okay, like I'm flat broke, to being able to pay people that you borrowed money back, and also being able to pay your bills?
Fucking heaps, man. I did all the market research just to find out how to actually get subscribers and how to collaborate properly, and because you can't just collaborate with people. People, just say, hey, can I work with you? And they work with you. You have to build a name. You got to build a reputation.
Send him a dick pic?
No.
Shit, I've been doing it all wrong then.
No. So to all you men out there doing that, you can't do that. Can't do that. Stop it.
Pull that shit up, bro. That's fucking, yeah.
Yeah, so and I had to market myself, and I was on Instagram, and I was following 200-300 people every day just for them to follow me back, and I'd go unfollow them and like go through the cycle.
Yeah.
Then I started Chatterbait live webcamming, and then just Twitter and just any social media I could.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And so that's sort of how you got from point A to point B.
Yeah, it wasn't until TikTok until I really started making really good money.
Yeah.
And then TikTok itself, I had to find a way to market myself, which would get good exposure.
So you've been in the industry now for, let's say, about 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Around there?
It's 2, yeah.
2 and a bit? 2?
Yeah, 2 and a bit, yeah.
2 and a bit years, right? So going from, okay, you've started off, you didn't have any idea what you're doing, and then all of a sudden you're doing all right, to then, I guess, number one in Australia, number one male entertainer in Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
How was that journey, bro? Like, and this is the thing, like, I want to know is, like, were there times where you had to pinch yourself and be like, holy fuck, this is actually happening for me?
Hey, hello. Sorry for interrupting your podcast, but I just wanted to jump on here quickly and talk to you about the must-have personal development tool for 2023. It's just dropped, and it's called the Happier, Healthier You Journal. So the best way to describe this is if I think back to when I first started my journey of personal development. There was lots of information out there, but there was no one tool which would help me to make sure I was moving in the right direction. I looked for journal after journal and daily planner after daily planner. I found plenty around gratitude and plenty around business, but nothing around personal development and growth. So from the minute you open this journal, it's going to challenge you to figure out exactly where you're at. Then it's going to help you to set goals around where you'd like to be. Then the Happier, Healthier You journal becomes the tool to bridge that gap. So whether you're just fresh out in the world of personal development or you've been growing for years, this is the must-have tool when it comes to personal development in 2023. To find out more about it, jump onto my Instagram at INTOCHANGE_coaching, head to the Shopify link, and that'll give you all the necessary details. And if you'd like a cheeky 10% off, use the code INTOCHANGE10 at checkout. Now back to our podcast.
Most people would think I'd say yes, but no.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be, what's the word? I don't want to be content with myself, and I don't want to put myself like on a pedestal or anything like that. I just want to be grounded, and I want to be motivated for more. and I don't want to be complacent. So I think if I'm content and I'm like, oh, look at me, like I'm doing so well, you know, then I might be complacent. I don't want that.
Then it might all fall away, right?
Yeah. Like, you know, I've definitely had my moments where I'm like I did well, like I'm proud of myself. But
so you should be, bro. You fucking come a long way, man. Even in the short time that I've known you, bro, you fucking killing it, dude.
Yeah, thanks,
It's
bro.
cool to see, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's just want more. Just want more.
Yeah, bro, I know the feeling,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
those goalposts for you are always moving, right?
Yeah.
So have you always had that mindset where you're just like, okay, I'm hungry for more? Or is it something that you just sort of, I guess, developed over time?
I think I've always been hungry for more, but I never knew like how to get more. I didn't have the same attitude, the same ethic. I didn't have, you know, I wasn't me before.
Yep.
Before it was only just wanting more in my head, but now like I put actions to wanting more.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Cool. So I know probably a question a lot of people want to know as well. First experience doing an OnlyFans shoot with like, you know, a couple of girls, a couple of guys. What was that like? And okay, first of all, let's talk about your first experience with an OnlyFans shoot.
So,
and then
so just OnlyFans in general? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, no, let's call it just like, I guess, in the porn industry. So your first collab.
Yeah, well, I'll go through my first porn scene, then my first OnlyFans collab.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
My first porn scene was with an Asian girl in Melbourne.
Yep.
And I was just young and I was like a bit arrogant, you know, and I like my ego. You know, when you're young, got that ego, you're like,
man, right?
I'm the fucking man, you know. But like, I was nervous, but I was like, you know, like no one did porn back then. And I was like, I'm doing it. I'm
Doing
like,
a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Living the dream, right?
Yeah. So before I went into this porn scene, like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk in here. I'm gonna fucking do well. Like, I'm just gonna do it. And it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. Like, I went soft a few times and had to like go to the bathroom and like, you know, get up,
get it going,
get it going. Yeah. I still performed alright, but I didn't want to like.
Not the stallion you are today, right?
I was silent. Like, I thought I was so good back then. Like, I actually did. But like, I know now. Like, I look back, I'm like, I didn't know shit.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you want to look back and see how far you've come, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking cool to be able to do, man.
It was fun anyway. She was a really cool chick, and but then
Are you still in contact with that chick?
No.
Okay,
no,
cool.
no. She's off doing her own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But my first proper OnlyFans collab was actually a gangbang. So
that's why I asked, because I've heard this story. You've told me this story, bro. So obviously don't need specifics and names and shit like that. But okay, walking into that, so you know, talk to me, run me through the fucking what was going through your head, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so like I wanted to get out there more, and like I was really keen just to grow and do more, and wanted to network. So somebody put up a poster like, I'm looking for males for a shoot. Who would be keen?
Yeah, and is this in like a group chat or?
No, this is just an Instagram story.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I replied to her. I said, "Yeah, I'd be keen. Like, what is it?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know if you'd be like, I don't know if this would be your thing or not." He goes, "It's a gangbang." I'm like, "Fuck!" I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, I've never even done like a threesome with two guys and one girl before. Like, you know, like that would normally make me like a bit like, you know, like not my thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it."
Yeah.
So I didn't know a single person. I rock up to this hotel room, you know. I walk in, there's a guy in a robe holding a wine glass. We actually met that guy when we were on
the skis one time. You told me this story, bro. Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah, legend. Legend.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, hey, man," and you know, met him, and there's a BBC there as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone knows what that is.
Yeah, we won't elaborate on that one.
Yeah.
Google it.
Maybe
what you call it? Urban Dictionary, that one.
Yeah. So yeah, 4 guys, 1 girl, 1 videographer. Didn't fucking know anyone. And then 2 of them went downstairs to do the role play, part of it. And one of them is a swinger, and they seen a couple friend of theirs, so a guy and a girl, who are also swingers, like, "Oh, do you want to come up and watch the gangbang we're about to do?"
If there wasn't pressure to perform already.
Oh no, I was like, "You're kidding me, eh?" So this couple come up, so they're sitting on the side of the room. So now there's a couple watching, there's a videographer filming it, there's 3 other guys I've got to, you know, do the girl with.
Yeah.
I don't know fucking anyone. I'm like, this is fucked.
But, okay, would you rather have known them, though? Or would you rather not know them?
Nah, I think because when I would if I know them, like I think
Bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
High five and all that sort of shit. Yeah. Standard Friday, right?
So and that was a tough one. I couldn't even get like proper.
Yeah.
I couldn't get full.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got to about 3/4 and that was it.
Yeah.
But I just did what I could,
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah, tongue, fingers, whatever.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man of many skills, right? Man of many skills. So that was your first porn experience, your first OnlyFans experience.
Yeah.
So obviously from that first experience with OnlyFans to where you are now, at that point in time, how often were you doing content? And now, like with collabs and that sort of stuff, how have you sort of set yourself up so that, you've got that constant stream of, I guess, content?
Yep. So back then, I wasn't collaborating a lot because I was still new.
Yeah.
And getting a collaboration wasn't as easy.
Yeah.
Because you need to have a name. You got to have a good reputation. You got to be,
of course.
you got to be a nice guy. Treat the girls good. Mm-hmm. So obviously, with a bit of time, I've built that reputation up. And now, generally, I only collaborate Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Generally, like about 10 a.m. start if I can. And I'll aim to do just only ever like one collab per day.
Yeah.
Might be a couple movies with that collaboration, but just one collab per day.
Yeah.
And I might book 5 in a week.
Yeah.
You might get 2 cancellations. Could be three collabs a week.
Yeah.
But generally, I'll just try to do as many as I can until I burn out.
Yeah.
Then when I burn out, I might have a month break and then I'll go back. But obviously, all the other work
like
still
a deload
going.
week, right? If you're lifting weights, that's what you're doing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So, I guess that's the glitter and the glam of the OnlyFans world, right? And it's everyone's, especially males, dream. I'm sure some females wish they were just getting railed every day as well. But I mean, from a male's perspective, I guess we see, it's fucking all this fucking really cool stuff that you get to do. You get to fuck all day. You get to hang out with hot girls, man. I've seen some of the birds that you hang out with. I actually got to say, man, I haven't actually watched your content just because you're a mate. I don't want to. I don't
watch it. What do you mean? Go watch it.
Maybe we should put something on now after this, right? But.
I won't say who, but one of our friends has a subscription.
Yeah?
Yeah, I send him videos sometimes.
Yeah, every now and then. Yeah. Yeah, probably the guy I know, yeah. But so we've spoken about, I guess, the pros and obviously that it's like a cool world for you to be in, man, and obviously helps you to get from where you were, rock bottom, to where you are now. What's the downsides? What are the, I guess, how does it affect your mental health? How does it, I guess... obviously, people want relationships. We all, I guess, whether we say it, acknowledge it knowingly or not, we're all really looking for love, right?
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
So how does this, or how has this affected, I guess, your ability to have genuine connection with females?
Yeah, it's very hard, man. I get really lonely. And it's not just me, banging all these girls every single day and surrounded by girls constantly.
That's what people think, right?
Yeah, but, I do put that image out there, obviously, but...
well, that's right. We see TikTok and Instagram as a highlight reel. We don't actually see what goes on behind the scenes, so...
Yeah, so behind the scenes, I'm alone, 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And if I do start dating a girl, for girls, they might see me as a fun toy for a bit. There could be, an appeal to having a bit of fun with a male porn star.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Be a good ride. Yeah.
Yep. That might just want to tick off their bucket list.
Right.
But when it comes to anything serious, girls will, from my experience with what happens with me, they will think they can handle what I do for work because they see me beyond my work. Because I'm not just a porn star. I'm still a person.
Yeah, of course, brother. Yeah.
And, maybe they'll try to accept it, but ultimately, I think they don't reflect on it enough and really see what it, what it actually is, and generally a couple of weeks later, a month later, it just doesn't work out.
Right.
It's not always because of my work. Sometimes we just fall out, it doesn't work out.
It does, obviously you're human, right?
But generally... It goes either a lot of girls just don't want me because of what I do. The girls who think, yeah, maybe I might want him. He's a good guy. He's good looking. I'll be at the bottom of their priority list. So they might be talking to a couple other guys, which most people are. It's fine.
Of course, yeah.
But because of what I do and the image I put out there, I'm not a priority to them.
Yeah.
You know, because they know what I'm already doing.
Yeah.
There's no hiding what I do.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm very self-aware on that. But that can be a hard one because for me, it's like I feel devalued because I can see what they're doing. I can see how much of not a priority I am to them.
Yeah.
And then I feel devalued, and then I feel disrespected. Maybe not so much disrespected, but just the whole devaluing thing. I'm like, I don't allow people to devalue me. I'd rather unfollow you, never talk to you again, than be devalued.
Yeah, and respect for yourself, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that is what I do.
Yeah.
So that's could be a bad habit. I don't know, but I'm very...
Would you say like a defense mechanism?
Defense mechanism, yeah.
Getting hurt further.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, so that's pretty deep, man. Thanks for going into that with us. And I guess that's something I really wanted to bring to light, that, you know, it isn't all glitz and glam. As much as us blokes think that, you know, we just get to go and fuck, and as a porn star for Dale, that's what he does, but there's obviously a downside to it too. So, I mean, if there was someone wanting to get into the industry, what advice would you give to them?
Honestly, make an OnlyFans page and just do it. Like, because I get asked, how do I get into it? When I wanted to get into it, I just made a page and started learning.
Yeah.
You know, no one's going to make it happen for you. But you, say as a male, you have to be able to put girls first. You have to respect women. You have to treat them good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not cut out for this.
Right.
If you fall in love with every girl you have sex with, this is not for you.
Yep.
I'm good at what I do because I'm emotionally detached.
Yeah.
It takes me a long time to get strong feelings for a girl.
Okay.
I'm good at this because I respect women. You know, and I'm good at this because I treat it like a business.
Yeah.
So if you can't do these basic things like respecting women and not being attached and, you know, and just if you can't be professional, then don't bother.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, there's advice for anyone that wants to get into OnlyFans, especially as a male. It's not as easy as you think. So moving forward, all right. So right now, like I said, you're probably number one male entertainer in Australia and probably one of the top ones in the world even.
Yeah.
So what are your plans? What does the future hold for Mr. Dale Egan?
For now, I keep working on the business I have and trying to grow it.
Yeah.
But also expanding into other businesses.
Yeah, so you were mentioning about, I think we were speaking actually earlier about your sex shop.
Yeah.
You got launching online, but you were also saying that you had planned to do that whilst in jail.
Yeah, so I've actually got written down plans for that while I was in jail.
Okay.
Still got the paper at home for it. Yeah. That's definitely a goal of mine, but I put that on the back burner for now because I've started too many things at once and then I've overloaded myself.
They say chase 2 rabbits, you'll catch none.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's exactly what's happened.
I know the feeling, bro, yeah.
So I've got about, I think, 4 or 5 different things in front of me, which I've started, but none of it getting finished.
Yeah.
So I've decided to take a step back. Very shortly going to go overseas for a reset, and then just tackle one by one when I get back.
Cool. Actually, you said going overseas. Now, obviously there was a big period of time there where you couldn't travel because of being on parole, and you just finished parole this year. Congrats, by the way, bro.
Thank you.
I know how fucking hard that can be with them breathing down your neck every 3 seconds, man. I was on parole for like 10 years, right? From like 16 to 26.
So bad.
Fuck,
so
dude.
bad. They want to know everything.
Yeah, man, 100%. Like, you can't piss without them watching.
yeah.
Literally, quite literally.
Yeah.
So now that you've got that freedom, like, how does that feel, knowing that, okay, this is where you were, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, to then like getting out of jail, to then being here and having all this freedom, having the lifestyle that you built for yourself. Overall, how does that make you feel?
Like really, really good. Makes me feel like I feel free because I can go overseas tomorrow to any country I want if I'm allowed in the country. And I can work from any country.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, but I'm holding myself back because obviously I got my base here, friends here, and I need a home base to progress in my career. I can't just go travel everywhere and grow.
Yeah. So I guess you've been doing this now for about 2.5 years?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
How long do you see the lifespan of OnlyFans and I guess male porn entertainment being for you?
For me, not long.
Okay.
I could potentially do it for another 20 years.
Yeah.
Males can do it for a very long time.
Yeah.
But honestly, now this loneliness thing is getting to me more and more.
Yeah.
Having I make really good money, I live in a good house, I can travel, and I do travel like interstate and stuff and get nice hotels, but fuck, I do it by myself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to share it with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, every time I go away and do something, every time I'm on a business class flight, I'm like, fuck, it'd be good to have a girl that I actually love with me doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm being straight out. I'm not even like it's like, you know, it'd just be good.
Yeah.
So that's why I want these other businesses to work, so I can actually give myself a chance to find love, you know?
Yeah, man.
I'm 32 now. Like,
Yeah.
like how many years can I just be single and like doing porn? Like,
Yeah.
like, you know, and I'm not a swinger. I don't want to, you know, people, you can call me, people might call me a hypocrite, but I don't want a girl that is getting with other men.
Yeah, of course.
You
You
know.
want genuine connection, man. Old school.
Yeah, and unfortunately with what I do, like, it's going to be very hard for me.
Yeah.
And I know that. So it's just, I need to make my money, invest it, make more money through other businesses, replace my income, exit the actual physically filming part of my business, and then live life and give myself a chance to find love.
So that's the plan for Mr. Dale Egan then. So I guess replace your current income with other business income and get out. Would you still stay in the sex industry to some degree?
Yeah, no, I will. I think
Yeah.
my knowledge base and my experience and the name I've built for myself is too great to just leave it.
Yeah.
But there are many other ways within the industry I can make money without having to sleep with women.
Yeah. Cool. Now, one question I really want to know, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there would like to know as well, is did you actually ever end up fixing that sink that was blocked? Because I see all your TikToks, man, there's always this blocked sink. They
There's, I don't know, they just keep blocking up, eh?
crazy, right?
Yeah, there's only one way to fix them.
And he looked in the camera as he says that. Oh, man. Well, brother, thank you so much for coming on here. Is there anything else you'd like to say or anything else you'd like to share with anyone that might be listening? That I guess the purpose of this is to show people that no matter where you're at, you can always make a change. You can always do better. Is there anything you'd like to share with someone that might need that one little bit of push in the right direction to have hope to become the best version?
Yeah, I think so, actually. I think self-reflection is a massive thing for me.
Yeah.
And self-awareness and holding yourself accountable. So I think if you're someone who's in like a rut or you're doing the wrong thing, you want to do the right thing, you should reflect on what's making your life worse. So for me, it was drugs.
Yeah.
You know, drugs made depression worse. Drugs made my financial situation worse. Drugs made me do things that normally I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
So I cut them out.
Yeah.
So, you know, for other people, it could be drinking. It could be drugs as well.
Yeah.
It could be gambling. I don't know what it is.
Whatever their vice is, right?
Yeah. But, you know, assess yourself, reflect on your life, hold yourself accountable, and, you know, make changes.
Yeah. Be honest with yourself about that shit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, brother, I really appreciate you coming on. Fucking oath.
man.
That was actually really cool, man. And thank you so much for sharing a bit of your story, because I know there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't obviously see that side of what you do, man. So really appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you very much. And very excited to see what the future has to hold for Mr. Dale Egan.
And brother, likewise, mate.
anyone wants to check him out, Primal Instincts on Instagram and TikTok.
Prominent 6.
Primal Instincts. Sweet as.